Okay, this panel, this is a walnut panel that's going on the side of a jewelry box, and it's already been inlaid with stringing. But we're going to put 1/4 inch banding all the way around here. You can see I've got it laid out with a pencil line, and there's the router bit. In the little router, it's already the depth set. Okay, notice I put 4 pieces of masking tape at the ends of where the channels are going to be. So I'm going to route this channel, and then the masking tape is there so I can see, because when you put the router down it's difficult to see where it stops. So I'm going to stop when it gets to the masking tape so I don't go too far. Okay, we're going to inlay this banding. I want to route a groove in there. And what I've got is, this is a 1/4 inch router bit template that I've made, and it dictates the space between the line where the router, where the groove is going to be, and the guide it's going to ride on. My grandson back in the background there. Okay. So we're going to clamp this here. Clamp this over here. And that's the distance where the groove is set. So that can be removed. Okay, the corners, as you can see, okay Ryan, just a second, the corners are round, and we have to make them, cut them square with a knife, and then chisel out the excess, and that's all. Okay, there's the let me turn this video. There's the finished thing with a couple more notes on the template I was using. If you noticed, this is a homemade template, just a piece of wood, and it's only good for the 1/4 inch router bit on this particular router. If you notice, the distance between the edge and the edge of the router bit is this distance right here, this width of this, so that when this is laid in there, you can see that it sets this guide up for this distance, so that that 1/4 inch bit fits right in that groove. And this is just a straight 1/4 inch router bit, nothing special about it. You have to set the depth for the depth of your banding. So that's all there is to it. Okay, I've made a simple template or jig for cutting mitering the 45-degree corners on the banding using just a regular, like a Stanley razor knife. Notice that I've laid these out with just a plastic drafting triangle. Okay, and what I'm going to do is, to make that miter cut, I'm going to set that banding right on that line, that horizontal line. Take a couple pieces of scrap tape to hold it there. I moved it, but there you go. And then I take a steel rule, put it on the line, mark the banding, and then once it's marked, you can just take it, cut it with a knife. Okay, once I've mitered one end, I'll check my camera here. And once I've mitered one end, then I have to mark the other corner, and you notice I've got plenty of light. Okay, I've marked that corner. Take my little cutting jig. Tape it to the line so it doesn't move. My rule line there. Mark it. Tape that over. Cut it with a knife. Okay. Now this should fit pretty good. Okay, perfect. If you need to adjust it a little bit, wow, it's stuck. And take a block with some sandpaper on it and get that fit perfect. And you repeat that for the other pieces. Okay, I've got all my pieces ready to be glued in there. And I've numbered them. The little number, this is number 3, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and I've numbered them so I don't have to think about it when I go back which one goes in which slot. And I'm just going to use some regular yellow carpenter's glue, like Elmer's carpenter's glue or Tight Bond. Any of that stuff. It's just wood. So the banding itself is wood, so you use wood glue. Nothing special about it. Get plenty of glue in there, don't worry about the bleed out. Okay. Okay, so we put all our bandings in there one at a time. And then we're going to put them in a caul and glue them up. Okay, once the bandings are in their groove, take a piece of wax paper, put the wax paper between this and the caul to keep the caul from sticking to the inlay. And then we clamp it up, let it sit, and we're done. Take it out of the clamp. And that's what you got. Okay, notice the banding is just a tiny bit proud, maybe a hundredth or a couple hundredths of an inch. And we're going to get that off with about 100 grit, 120 grit sandpaper on a palm sander. We'll take that off. And then after we get that flat, we'll finish sand it with about a 240 and then finish it. And here's our finished product. And you can see the banding as it's been inlaid. And it's all finished.